Hi everyone, Michelle here from the Creative Cove. Thanks for joining me today. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I wanted to just show you a quickie sketch on how to draw thistles today. I love to capture their shape and their form, but I like to do it in a very loose, quick sketch. I don't like to stress myself out about trying to capture all the intricate details. I want to just capture the form and just kind of imply all the texture by using an HB pencil and just scribbling is basically what my quickie sketch videos are about. So I've done a couple of sketches here and turned them into some ephemera. And I started on a piece of coffee paper and just practicing. So practice does make perfect. A lot of people don't want to put the time into practice, but I can tell you that even if you're frustrated at first, when you start drawing, you'll be amazed how fast your skills will develop if you keep practicing. So let's get started on how to draw one of these guys. So the first one we're going to draw is a, oh, and I'm using coffee dyed paper, getting ahead of myself here. So I just coffee dyed a bunch this weekend, and I'm using my 0.7 HB mechanical pencil. This is what I like to sketch with when I'm outside in the garden. But you can use anything. Now I'm running low on lead, so I might run out and have to switch to an ink pen here because I can't find any more pencils. I promised I'd clean my desk between the last video and I lied. I didn't get it done. So I might have to switch to this ink flow pen. It's just from the dollar store. It's a 0.7 millimeter. We'll see how it goes. But you can use anything you've got, any paper and any pencil or pen. So get yourself in a comfy spot, relax, get yourself a coffee, tea, whatever works for you. And it's all about just having fun and trying to learn something new and capture the form of these thistles. Okay, so let me see if I can zoom you in a little. So we're going to start with a kind of a wonky oval. So maybe strawberry shape, if that helps. So you're going to have a round top like this and a wider round bottom. So we're going to draw the thistle in the seed pod. So it's already finished flowering and now it's gone to seed. The next drawing we will do with the thistles actually in flower. But this is my favorite part of the thistle, is the seed. So we've got our little oval shape here. We're going to now do little contour lines. So a contour line captures the curvature of the shape. So if we went straight, it wouldn't give that illusion of a three-dimensional form. So we want to curve our lines. So I'm just going to curve all the way up. You can see they're not even consistent curves. They're just lines going back and forth with a round edge. And I'm not worrying about them being perfect. I just want to try and capture that curve, that form. So now we're going to go in between these little lines and we're going to create these little kind of black rectangles or squares. And you can see I'm very loose. I'm just scribbling. I'm just going in between the lines here. And I'm staying within the middle of the strawberry shape that we drew. So I'm not going all the way to the edge with these dark squares. So what this is deep inside the seed where the shading and the shadow has casted. There's no light in here because it's recessed deep down. I wish I had a thistle here to actually show you how they look. But if you have one in the garden, that's the best, to have an actual thistle in front of you while you're drawing. So now I'm just kind of squaring these off a little more. And you can see very loose, not worried about it looking like anything just yet. So now I'm going to start putting in a little bit of texture. So thistles, as we all know, as little kids, we've stood on them. We've tried to pick them, and they're extremely prickly. It's their little defense mechanism. So I'm just taking my pencil, I'm flicking out past my original strawberry shape. I'm going to pull up. So you can see the movement is going this way. It goes straight at the top, and then I start curving out this way. Now, normally I would move the paper with me, but I'm trying to keep the paper in the same position for you guys, so I have to kind of contort my wrist a little bit, but move your paper around so it's a little bit easier for you to draw. So you can see when I come to the bottom of the shape, I go around and now I'm going down this way. Okay, we're thinking of the way that these grow is really important. So now I'm going to try and just give myself a couple of scribbles in the center here. So you can see I'm leaving some of the paper behind exposed. I don't want to fill it in dark, but I need to add the texture to the front of the thistle. So I'm just scribbling away. Just nice and loose. So what I want to do now, if I have an eraser left, is I want to just loosely erase my original line. I drew it a little bit too dark and I don't want to see it. So I'm just going to take my eraser and soften that. And I'm going to go back with my squiggles here, technical terms, and I'm just scribbling out that line. So nice and loose, just scribble away. What's nice about using the pencil is if you go too dark or you've lost some detail, you just erase it back. That's what I love about using a pencil. So for example, I feel like, okay, I've lost maybe a little bit of detail in here, so I'm going to go back in with my eraser and find those lines. Bring some of that center back. So you can see what I did was I just used my eraser and went over some of those original lines I did. I can reinforce the dark again. So sketching is all about getting a feel for it. You know, you're gonna darken a line and realize, oh, that's too dark, or you've made a line too light. The weight of the line's too thick. And so you just keep playing until you get the desired effect. And that's where the practice comes in, because you're always learning something new, and I can guarantee you're always going to improve. And just keep scribbling away. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of form here. So now I'm going to pull out the real like spiky ones. And they have just a few that are a lot longer than the rest. Just pull that out. Just flick in my pencil. So I'm going to give it a stem. So I come down the center like this, and as I hit the end, I push on my pencil. So I know where I want to make sure my stem is centered. That's important. So I'm just going to pull some lines down and darken up here. Kind of fun to put them on a wonky angle. All right, the next thing we're going to do is these little spiky bits that come down. So I'm just going to pull a curved line like this, and then I'm going to repeat the line beside it. Give myself some more lead. Repeat the line beside it and thin it out as it gets towards the end. And then I just kind of scrub it in with my pencil. I don't worry about staying in that line. So let's do another one up this way. Pull it down like this. So I'm just scribbling. And do another one maybe behind it. You can do as few or as many of these as you like. I like the uneven edges here, so this piece is kind of not even touching anything. Nice and loose sketching. Do another one up here. There we go. So now we can do a leaf. So they have these really jagged looking leaves. So I draw a line going up where I want the leaf to go. And I'll go down and spike it out. Go down, spike it out, spike it out. And then I just do the same thing going on the other side. And they have these very sharp spikes on there as we all know. And then I'm just going to darken up the leaf. Just color that in. I hope you can see. I hope my hand isn't getting in the way. I'm just coloring it in and out of the lines, doesn't matter. So again, if I feel I've gone a little too dark, just take my eraser and lighten up some spots. Eraser's a great tool. It's not just for erasing mistakes, it adds, it's another element to use as a drawing tool. There we go. Do another one maybe this way. So it's attaching to the front, running out of lead here. Attaching to the front. Maybe it curves down. So I'll just pull a line out, curve it. It can go any direction we want. And I think this one will do kind of like a half leaf where we only see the side profile of the leaf. So we'd see the back over here. So we'll color the back end darker because it's underneath. And just throw some lead in here so texture all matches. And give this guy some spikes now. So the stems are pretty spiky too. And again, just scribble in some lines coming out, sharp points. Try not to make them too uniform. So you see these are like four almost the exact same position, like distance apart, so it doesn't look natural. So you want to make sure that they're staggered and there's no pattern. So I'm going to get rid of those. Put that one back in. And then maybe put one here. So there shouldn't be any patterns to it. Even this, where we created those stripes, it would make a pattern, but we break it up when we color it in and go over top of it like that, so it distorts the pattern a little bit. Nice and loose. And there we go. So there's the first one. So let's do the second one. Let's do one in bloom. Oh, mark there for some reason. So now it's the same, it's kind of the same shape, but we're going to make it smaller. So now we're going to do maybe a short stubby strawberry. So oval on the top, wider oval on the bottom. And then we're going to give it a dome like this. So very light on the pencil. That way we don't have to erase it later. So I hope you can see it. And then you can do the stem. So we can do just a line coming through here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do our contour lines. And this one we're going to do a little different because this time the petals, the leaves or petals that are on this thistle are still alive. They haven't gone to seed yet. So the shape of them is a bit different. So what I like to do is I like to darken the crisscrosses in the center. So again, this is just capturing the form. This isn't detail. So the details would be all these individual little petals, which we're not going to do. We're just going to capture the shape loosely. So now these ones here, these little cross marks, we're just going to start triangle, kind of like creating these lines, triangles out. I don't know how to describe that shape, but if you can follow along drawing with me, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of pulling out these spiky points because that's the shape that these have right now. I'm trying to concentrate drawing and explain what I'm doing at the same time. And I'm just pulling up across those, just putting in some spiky points. So as I draw them on this side, they go this way. As I draw them on this side, they go this way. And as I draw them in the middle, they go straight up and down. Okay, so you can see we're capturing that spiky texture, even without all those refined special details. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull out the purple flowery top. So what I like to do is just pull and flick my pencil. So as I work this side, they go this way. As I come to the middle, they go straight up. And as I go to this side, they go this way. So still using that concept of contour lines, that curved line representing the shape and the form. And then I'm going to darken under here a little bit and maybe pull out just a couple of stragglers on the side. We're going to erase this line here, so we don't want to see that anymore. Go back, pull out some lines. You can also do like a little scribble as a cluster, indicating a cluster of these little purple flowers. Long, thin purple lines they have. And scribble. So you see my sketches are very loose, very scribbly. Try and get the form captured in a short period of time. So now I'm going to put a little bit of shading into the base of this thistle. So all these little hatch marks I did, I'm now going to just darken up a little bit in between there. Just to try and give it a little bit of depth. But you see how loose my pencil is. Really just scribbling. So there we go. Maybe darken it up just a little bit more under here. Assuming the light's coming more from the top. All right, so now let's do the stem. So we got our width. Think of the width of the stem would have to be to support the head of this flower. So if you had just a thin line, it's not going to look natural. It's got to be meaty enough to hold the weight. Let's do some spikes here. Again, no pattern. Just random. And maybe a leaf. So we'll do our jagged if you'd like to draw the center first. That way you know exactly where it's going to go. And then we'll just do some spiky, wiggly lines. Nice and loose and quick. And color those in. So, you know, every one you draw, so this one isn't my favorite, but it's, you know, it's just a quickie sketch. So I've learned something, you know, I've gone dark too fast. But it's still, I can still tell it's a thistle. So, you know, don't get discouraged if you don't get it in the first one. It might take a couple of tries, but you might also just surprise yourself. You know, pause the video as you're going, give it a whirl, and see if it's something you enjoy doing, because you do have to enjoy sketching, otherwise you'll just get frustrated. But a lot of people, a lot of comments I get is, I can't draw a straight line with a ruler, or I can't draw stick figures. Well, if you give yourself the mindset where you can't do it right away, then yeah, you won't be able to do it. But if you say, all right, well, you know, I can follow a step-by-step tutorial, and I'm going to give it a go, you might just be surprised how well you do. All right. So there's some sketches. I'm going to zoom you back out. And hopefully we're centered again. And now we can turn it into some sort of ephemera, because that's the whole point, is using it in a journal. Or, you know, if you really love your sketch, throw it in a frame. Because, you know, take pride in your work. Your first sketch could be your best. You never know. So I'm just going to trim this guy down. And maybe we'll turn them into something like a journaling card to glue into a journal. And as you can see, I just used scissors, so this is not going to be straight. So if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll see I'm a messy gluer, and nothing ever gets cut straight here. Chop this down a little bit more. It's very dark out today. We have it looks like we're going to have a thunderstorm, so I have this very bright light shining in my face right now. I hope that it's not causing too much of a glare or anything for you guys. I'm gonna trim this guy down. Yep, I think that's okay. So I like to use these old manila folders. I love the color of them, so I just keep them. They're cheap and they're easy to use. So I think I will ink this and we'll just turn it into a insertable journal card. What's nice is you adding all these beautiful hand-drawn works to your own journals. So there is a fixative that you can spray on this before you, you can assemble it and spray it, doesn't matter. And what that does is it stops the graphite from transferring onto other pages. I don't have any right now, but a lady had told me also that you can use hairspray. That hairspray works as a fixative. So there you go. If you don't want to go out and spend money on that, you can use your hairspray. Just let it dry before you stick it in a journal, just so that it doesn't dry close, like glue your pages together. So there we go. Just gonna glue that down. So let's maybe cut here. And you can take your time at this. I'm just trying to keep the video relatively shorter. You can take your time and cut this all nice and even. I'm going to ink the edge here. I think I'm going to put some brads. I really like the look of these square brads. So let's do that with this. So I got these crocodile hole punch. I ordered it online because I keep seeing it in other YouTubers, and what a fun tool it is. So I was like, that's it. I'm spending the money and getting it. So I did. And then some little square brads here. 5-4. Yep. Looks like it. So stick them in and open them up. Hopefully I'm in frame still. I'm not in too much shadow. I really do need to get one of those fancy lights, I think. Okay, we're finally getting some rain. It's been so dry here where I live in Ontario. So it's like come home from work and have to water the garden every day. So I'm so happy for rain. All right, so maybe we can add some words or something. I have this black paper that I thought might be pretty dramatic. That could be fun. So I did this one on just the manila with some old book page, and then I found this black paper in my stash, and I thought, ooh, that's a lot of fun. That really pulls out the drawing, I think. So let's use some of that too. And I only have my regular glue stick with me. Normally I would use my 3-in-1 for this, but I can't find it because I haven't cleaned my desk. Oh. There's something about cleaning. I'd much rather be creating than cleaning. All right, see if that will glue for a minute. Just hold it down for a second. All right, let's chop it up. So I'm just gonna give myself a nice black border. I think that's quite dramatic. It'll really pop in a journal when you see it on a black background like this. And maybe some wording. So maybe just garden. Let's try that first, see if we like it. Chop it down a bit. These are just words I put in a Word program and printed on regular paper. So you can write in whatever you want on a Word program. Maybe even use some black paper here. Garden, you like that? I think so. All right, messy glue stick. So I hope you like these quickie sketches. I do hope you give them a try and draw along with me, because they are, you know, like I said, you will improve as you go. And or maybe you are an avid drawer and you just want a subject to draw. And you're drawing along with me because it's nice to draw with somebody. So whatever your situation is, I do hope you give them a try, because they are a lot of fun. And like I said, you'll only improve. Try not to discourage yourself. Try not to think, I have to make a perfect sketch every time I pick up the pencil. It's learning something new every time. Let's try doing a couple of these words. I'm not sure I'm going to use them, but I think right now garden is just not balanced. Now that I've added this black border, I think I need to add it elsewhere. So we'll ink it. I'm just using this vintage photo by, I think it's Jim Holtz or Tim. Jim. I think it's Jim. I'm so bad with names. And I'm just scrubbing the edges here, because I do like that grungy, old, been touched a lot look. So put some glue on this guy. Throw that on. And we'll do this. So this is just black cardstock, I believe. I don't even know where it came from. I just found it today in my stash. And I don't have huge collections of papers and things like that. I find if I have too much, I get kind of lost in the creativity, because I'm overwhelmed by choices that I don't know what to pick. So I try to keep my tools and my stashes of papers and things low and use them up before I get more. So garden is about my happy place, like that. No, I don't like this one crooked. Let's see if I can pull this off. There we go. Let's go straight across on this one. Maybe like this. Sure, that works. And what's nice, you can glue this down. So let's glue this down, and then we can see how we like it and think, okay, I've covered up too much detail now. Well, you just take your pencil and you throw in another, say another leaf. Even if you added the fixative, you can still add drawing on top. You just have to add more fixative over top so that it seals off this graphite pencil again. I'm glad I had enough lead to demonstrate this. I'm gonna have to go get some more. All right, there we go. Just scribble another one in. That easy. I hope you give it a try. If you like my channel, please subscribe and hit the notification button. I'm always uploading new videos. And hit the like button. That really helps my channel as well. And leave me a comment on anything you'd like to see, or a different style on how to draw, or suggestions how to improve my videos. Whatever you want to leave me, or just say hello. And that's today's drawing, guys. Quickie sketch drawings. So thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great day, guys. Bye.